Thank you for clicking back to PokerNews.com and our continuing coverage of EPT Malta. I am here with Eugene Katchalov, and today I don't have any poker questions for you. I actually was going through your Twitter, and you are very involved with the U.S. election, presidential election, with news, posting John Oliver clips. Are you normally a political junkie and involved, or is this election particularly interesting to you?
I'm definitely a political junkie, especially during election season. I like to follow what's going on. Yeah, I'm definitely very interested what's going on in the elections. Even though I live in the Ukraine now, but I'm very interested in the U.S. elections.
Are you going to absentee ballot?
I was thinking about it. I'm looking into it. I'm trying to do it.
Are you registered in New York?
No, I'm actually registered in Nevada. So it would count. Yeah. So that's why I kind of want to get it done if I can.
What are your favorite news sources?
My favorite news sources? I follow a lot of things. I follow a bunch of news sources on Twitter, and then I just click on links. But I'm kind of I look at a bunch of different things and try to get whatever I can. I'm in anything from the mainstream ones like CNN, NBC, to things like Yahoo, Vox. There's a bunch of different things, but generally I just I kind of like to listen. I just kind of like to watch what happens on Twitter, and then that's usually the most entertaining stuff.
Yeah. Well, I noticed you posted a John Oliver clip, who I love.
Yeah. I absolutely adore him. So he's it's amazing how involved he is in U.S. politics, also because he's British and stuff. And yeah, I just love him. I can't get enough of him. So he's especially ever since Jon Stewart left, I was kind of I was really missing him. So
it was such bad timing for him too, because everything just got so much crazier, and there's so much comedy.
Yeah, I felt like I needed. I felt like I was missing a little bit of clarity ever since he left. But then John Oliver, took over, and I definitely like him a lot.
So I'm wondering, since you live in Ukraine, what's the biggest issue for you with U.S. politics? Because I know with Putin and Russia, there's been some tension. Is it that? Is it something else?
Yeah, that's certainly part of it. There's certainly some fears that if Trump wins, like does that mean how that will impact Putin's decisions and stuff. So I don't know. It's certainly a worry. So anytime there's an unknown risk, it's kind of a worry. So I don't know. Yeah. So it's another reason why I pay attention to it living in Ukraine.
Certainly, you've become relevant in international news. It's really interesting for me being here in Malta, watching BBC International, because it's such a different perspective internationally than how the U.S. covers everything.
Yeah. When the TV's on, I actually do sometimes also watch BBC. But lately I've been getting my news online, so I don't watch that much TV. But yeah, it's interesting. Other world, the way the rest of the world treats the U.S. elections is it's very different.
It's very different, but it's also so up to the minute. They have every, the latest thing Trump said, the latest thing Hillary did, the debates, and it's just, America is so self-involved. We don't have no idea what's going on in other countries' elections.
Yeah, I think that's because of how important these elections are, I think. Just how different the two candidates are, and because these elections, I think, matter for the world more than any previous U.S. elections, because the two candidates are so drastically different from one another. Whereas usually, they're certainly different, but most of the policies is usually different. Like mostly the internal policies are generally different. But here you have a lot of major differences.
Well, usually it's like the Republicans are very much this way and the Democrats are this way, and they stay within those confines. But this election, it's a little out of the box.
Yeah, usually the Republicans are like, let's cut taxes. Democrats are like, let's raise the taxes, and then Republicans are like, okay, let's raise defense budget, and Democrats are like, let's not. And then there's like some, green issues, green issue stuff. And
is that something you pay attention to?
Yeah. So usually it's certainly important for the world, but it's not it's not quite as drastically important, I think, as it is this election.
That's imminently important. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the right word. So it's certainly very interesting to follow it all along. But I'm kind of looking forward for it to be all over already.
A little exhausted with that, especially on Twitter. There's just so much happening, so many strong opinions, and you sort of want some people to shut up sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, thanks for chatting with me and raising the intellectual conversation at EPT Malta.
Yeah.
All right, and good luck to you in this tournament.
Thank you.
And of course, stay tuned to PokerNews.com for poker news and all other sorts of news.